And we're live, everybody. This is Mark Nugent. You watch Mark After Dark. So I thought we would just go live and talk. Someone, Amy Freeman, she's just texting on or commenting on my last video that I didn't go into details on corruption and what's going on. So I thought, why not? Let's go into detail. Let's keep talking and see if anyone shows up. They want to chat. I may or may not delete this. I don't know. But I know I was told I was supposed to speak at this thing. And there was a maneuver done, things done behind the scenes that, of course, people were telling me about. But, they shut something down. But, people were all too happy to accept support in the past. And then when it comes time for you need something, they just seem to disappear or cowardly run away. But here it is. We're going to be fine. Like I said, I've been through much worse. It's just more of a disappointing thing, a disappointing feeling like, okay, I learned something. I learned about who people really are. And so if you guys want to chat, I see people jumping in. Feel free to text. I really want us to talk to you guys and talk to you about a time where you got disappointed in somebody and they just kind of screwed you over. And my son's right there. When you thought something was going to go a certain way and it didn't, but you learned something. You learn who people really are. And that's one of the things that people ask, what makes you uniquely qualified to be elected or to be a leader? And it's, uniquely experience of, Maverick, come on. Okay. That unique experience in the military where you get to see people with stripped away and you're going through some very harsh environment stuff. So you can talk the talk, but when it comes down to doing stuff and you really need, to rely on people, where are they? And it's a very interesting group. So my son wants to be a little playful tonight. So, okay, hold on, sorry. All right, so I don't know. I wonder what you guys think. If someone had screwed you over, or let's talk about a time when you thought people had a deeper character. I went from the military. We just have the best people. I mean, really, really good character people that would sacrifice their lives for you to do something together, and you can rely on them with your life. And then I come into a new environment where there's a lot of shallow people that lack character, and they walk around, they pretend to be guys like from the military, and they pretend to have depth of character. And then when you scratch the surface, it just falls apart. Like for some of the people who've gotten to know me since I moved here, my loyalty is unmatched. I stick with my friends. I stick with those who I promised. And I don't back down when someone attacks my friends. I'll protect them to the end. I don't go cry, run away, ever. Yeah. So, kind of wondering how it's all going to work out. And I wonder if we should take a phone call. If you guys want to call in, I should have put that in description. If you guys want to call in, I could do a call-in show too. I'll just plug in the phone. So someone says that it'll be okay. So it's I kind of knew it wasn't going to happen in the first place, but I thought Amy says there are a few you can trust in politics. I agree. I do agree. And there's always shady stuff going on. There's interesting stuff. Now, I'm tired of talking about this one person. Everyone's like, don't talk about that one person. I said, fine. But a lot of us talk in politicians, like Amy and the other Amy and a lot of us, and we cannot make sense of why a certain person or certain people are really just elevated when they are just really unfit, really awful, and nobody likes them. It's like, what does that person have on other people? I mean, money, we've all got money. I mean, someone's not a billionaire, but the really wealthy people I know don't want to do anything with politics. So it's just, it's kind of sad, and they'll take and take from you. But when it's time to give back, what happens then? So it's really interesting. Carrie did get it. So congrats to Carrie. That's actually a bit of a good news because, Carrie, if you're watching, I do think you're a good person. Just want to let you know that. So it's sad when you think there's a process, but I was told things months ago, like, no, they already decided everything. It's all a show. And it kind of is to an extent. But every now and then you can kind of push through. And we're hoping that with this campaign that we can push through. I thought I was going to be dead in the water Saturday morning. Went through that. And I guess they wouldn't want a repeat of me talking about I'm not getting pushed around. And, if the community members are watching, feel free to reach out to me. I'll tell you what's going on. I have a bunch of notes from it. So I won't go into the partisan stuff, but what was it? 2018. I didn't even go for that endorsement because kind of knew where it was going to lie already, and I just kind of wanted to be away from the partisan stuff. But they say there's values, they say there's this, but then do you really live those values? Do you? I mean, ask yourself if you're one of those leaders, do you really, embody loyalty, integrity, selfless service? I don't know. I mean, do you guys? Look in the mirror? I saw somebody, I'm just going to mention unnamed. Wonder who's calling me. Someone's calling me from Irvine as a number. I'm not going to pick it up. Leave a voicemail. Text me. So, lost my train of thought now that I got something. So, Tanya says, they want people in office that are weak, character and submissive, and go along with whatever powers that be want them to say or do. So that's that. So, Leanna Fleming said didn't watch. Well, I gave my speech, though. I just gave my speech a minute ago. So anyway, I was talking about values, and if you really live those values, and loyalty and integrity means a lot to me. And loyalty is to my friends is kind of why I'm into this thing I'm in. So 2018, I didn't even want to get the endorsement. I just wanted to be nonpartisan. And then I started talking about the values. Okay, so doing this off the top of my head, I don't have any notes. I'm just, just kind of winging it. I just wanted to talk to people. And again, it was disappointing because I was prepared. I had my speech. I had everything ready to go. And it was a really good speech. It was really good. And I wanted to ask questions of why confidential documents were leaked to the other team. If we're supposed to be team players, why did somebody on the inner circles leak these documents? And I have an idea, but speaking of that, so I watched somebody after they tried to, I'm not going to mention any names, I'm just going to leave it there, screw somebody else over and sitting there looking at their nails like, see what I did? I just screwed them over. It's okay. Like, just doing like really? Anyway, Twitter, someone says Twitter is wild tonight. So Leanna says Twitter is wild tonight. Keep chatting. I was just kind of curious who texted me. So somebody texted me. But if you guys want to call in too, if somebody wants to call into the call-in show, I could put you on. Just send me a message and I'll patch you in through my board. And it'll sound like a radio show. It's pretty cool stuff I have here. We do have a bunch of forums coming up. I did good at the Chinese Cultural Center forum. I'm sure I'll smash the rest of them. If you guys didn't know me, I'm very comfortable on camera. This is really, really easy. Not nervous, not a bit. And so David Kellogg says, who is it? Let me send them a message to read it. Okay. It is. Okay, I know who that is then. Okay, I know who that is. Okay. So David Kellogg says, what are you going to do in 4 years if some of the people that passed have not done the last 20 years? Well, in Irvine, it's really about maintaining. If you're number one safe city, just maintain it. Get great schools, maintain it. Maybe improve a little bit. That's really, really what it is when it comes to Irvine. You don't want any crazy change. The people don't want that. So that's kind of what it is. And, after I got into this, they started going after me, and it felt good to stand up to somebody that was trying to intimidate me using my children. And I'm just not going to do that. Instead of asking someone nicely and working with them, you just want to bully and intimidate them to force your will, which is what they did to me to try to get me out of the race. Instead of calling in like a reasonable person, like, hey, can we have a conversation and let's sit down and work through this and our issues and come together as a team. Instead of doing that, they attack my kids. And are you guys insane? Is that what's going on? Because usually when I have an issue with someone, you just want to sit there and talk it out. If you guys weren't aware, a very suspicious timing, 7 days ago, there was a a political hit on using my children against me and questioning my military records as well. You question military records, that wasn't really offensive, but some people were really offended. They would go after my military records. For me, it's just a matter of fact. Like, okay, there's the awards, there's the records. You can read them if you don't believe me. It's verifiable. And this posted 2 awards and then a letter from the ambassador, and there's a bunch of other awards over the years, but those I thought were the most relevant that I got to put out. But the attack on the kids, that was the worst. To try to scare me, talking about where I live, and is basically the message is we can touch you wherever, we don't care. And I responded in kind. I was like, no, I'm not gonna go away. However, it's gonna be okay. I think someone wanted to call in. Let me text him back. Did you? Okay, there you go. So it just feels like I wasted my time, because a lot of people were telling me, like, there's a lot of support. We had this, the interview Saturday morning. Feeling pretty good. I was like, I didn't think we'd get, I knew how things were stacked. I didn't think we'd get past Saturday morning. And then from there, we went to this meeting tonight, and didn't even get to speak. And so what's the biggest change you want to make? I kind of want to expose some corruption, David Kellogg, if that's your question, the biggest changes. Irvine, I don't think, needs drastic changes. Maybe improve the traffic. We need to, because that's been kind of screwed over the years. Work to get the veteran cemetery that people want. We need to get that. So again, when you're the safest city in America, don't want a lot of change there. No. I don't know, somebody wanted to call in. So that's that. I was kind of curious what you guys think. It was very disappointing. I really wish there was more veterans in politics. We really need more that have served and have done things substantial. You know, I'm tired of being in a field where weakness is a virtue and submissiveness. Whatever happened to embracing strength and resolve to overcome obstacles? You know, that's something that was a value that we were taught in the military over years and years. You know, we train and go through horrible experiences to make us stronger and build us as a cohesive team. And now I kind of understand, when I was in the military, they absolutely hate politicians in the military. They hate civilian. Like, there's a disdain for politicians, even though we're not supposed to speak about them. For officers, it's a felony equivalent if you, I forget the exact term, show disrespect towards elected officials. So officers, you know, they grumble under their breath how much they didn't like Obama or whatever, or the president or elected officials. But that was generally the culture, that they didn't like politicians. And now I kind of see why. You know, before I kind of treated it on the outside of, you know, they're attacking me because you're strong, and that's fine, and they didn't know me. But once those relationships started to develop, I thought there was a little bit of a trust, a little bit of a rapport. And, you know, I'm a very loyal person. So if I say something, I'm going to do it. I don't go back on it. And so if I tell you something, it's going to happen. And for people that so flip-flop, and certain people, I cannot mention any names, that have flip-flopped, really disappointed. You know, they would take support, take this, take money, take donations, and then when it comes time to stand up and do things, they just kind of fold. So Amy says, I find it weird. A bunch of elected officials are on the committee. Seems like there's so many, there are so many ways for things to get muddy. I agree, Amy. And you know, and I was told too that, like, I was hearing rumors like, no, it's going to go good for you. It's going to go good. And then it didn't. So they're doing their thing. We know who they are. And I'm not sure if it'll ever get better. But if we ever wonder why the party is shrinking or, you know, is not growing, it's things like this today. It's things like this. When you screw people over, and weak leadership is going to have weak organizations. Let's just be honest. So that's what's going to happen. Now I'm going to weather the storm and keep fighting. I just got the phone. Someone called me and says, be careful. You don't know what they're going to do. And I said, can they do anything more to me? I mean, at this point, I mean, The only thing I can think of is physical violence, and I don't think that's going to happen. I really doubt that. But that's like they've already done pretty bad stuff as far as the political smears, everything that's legal they can do. Let's just put it that way. They've done about everything they can do that's legal. I'm sure there's going to be political attacks, which are a badge of honor. So if you see a political attack on me, let me know. I will sign that postcard, and they're going to burn up $500,000, $1 million fighting me because they're too stupid to just pick up the phone and work these things out ahead of time. And they just want to bully and bulldoze people. And also my previous video of exposing 5 points and their secrets and the ways they do things. See that previous video. I rolled it out in 17 minutes, the best I could. And I actually posted it on my last post. And it was breaking down kind of what I've seen and experienced in 17 minutes. And I try to make ones that are shorter, but that's kind of what it is. Amy says, wish you nothing but the best. Well, you never know how it's going to turn out. You know, people might just get tired of it. We'll see. You know, this is a whole new ball game with coronavirus, no door knocking. UCI is gone, so the Democrat vote is shrinking. You have, the Democrat slate. Then you have now Larry Agrin came on, which has a lot of name ID. It's really interesting how it's all going to turn out. And then you have us tearing ourselves apart. And it's just very strange. It's going to be interesting. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of support for them. I think I'm going to get tons more attacks. And I tell you, I forgave the last attacks in 2018. I put my best foot forward. I joined some campaigns. And I was like, I'm going to work with you guys. I'm going to really bust my behind. And for some big campaigns, my team, my volunteers, and who's on my political side, we got like a bunch of awards for doing really well. Well, I'm going to tell you that we're not going to be doing this stuff anymore after the betrayals. Because, again, previously we were just rival campaigns, rival teams, and they hit us, we left it alone. But after you get those personal relationships and someone gives you their word, their words aren't worth much these days if you're just going to break them. So that's that. And let's see if Mike wanted to call in, but, maybe next time. So anyway, I can close my speech. I got 12 people here. So I'll read my speech as what I wanted to read tonight. So, hello, my name is Mark Nugent. My background is 20 years U.S. Army, military police, captain, commander, anti-terrorism officer, and security advisor in the Pacific region, receiving many accolades and awards from setting the gold standard for my security plans in the Pacific region to heroic achievement for thwarting a terrorist plan and saving lives while I was deployed. Most importantly, I'm a husband and father of 2 children. Upon my election, my goal is to preserve and enhance Irvine's public safety. I will work to ensure residents are protected by the finest police and firefighting forces and support policies that promote supporting our police and preserving a way of life, improving traffic, lowering taxes, open communication with the public, smart development, safety in schools and reducing overcrowding, recruiting and retaining quality police and city employees, avoid centralization of power and keep decision-making local, exposing and investigating corruption wherever we find it. The first time I deployed, I was 21 years old. I threw a rifle over my shoulder and boarded a plane to go to combat in a place I never heard of for people I didn't even know. Just imagine how hard I worked for my community, my friends, and my family. I served our country for over 20 years. Let me serve Irvine for the next 4. So on that note, I think if there's no other questions, I'll end it within the next 1 minute. I know there's a bit of a delay. I'll let you guys have a moment to type up your questions. I'll throw them on the screen and end this within 1 minute or so. And then I'm going to make a bunch of phone calls because my phone was blowing up. They were like, why didn't they let you speak? What are they doing? What are they hiding? And it is. There was a couple of people that tried because they wanted to hear. And I got a couple of comments. Well, it's, there you go. I guarantee I'll take in some more hits, Sandra, before this whole thing is done. But again, I don't think they're going to do anything physical. It's just a bunch of, smear tactics and games, and we'll see how it turns out. So thank you, David. Appreciate it. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow. I know I took 2 days off to prepare for this. This is why when people ask me, why don't you do certain events or certain things on a campaign trail, it's things like this. I stayed all day. I had everything prepared, suit on, ready to go. And then something like this happened. So I kind of got a good feel about it. I didn't really want to do it in the first place because I kind of knew where it was going. However, you know, my gut instinct was right, but I wanted to give someone who said, you should do this. So I did. And what we're going to go back to work. I do believe the patriotism of the people will, you know, again, I know where I poll. I know how many votes I'm going to get. It's a very good chance we can get it, but we will be fighting an uphill battle. No doubt about that. My campaign is not going to be an easy campaign to win it by any means. I'm going to have all of these people against me. However, there is a chance if we pull high enough, some support may come in. But David says, that makes me feel good. My instincts, they're scared of you. They're very scared of me. And like my wife was saying earlier, they don't want strong people. They want easily controllable people. Like, they don't want to have to call and talk. They want to be able to just smash you and just destroy your family, like that political attack on my kids that smeared my kids. And remember the timing of that. That happened 7 days ago, 2 days before the end of filing. That hit on my family was meant to scare the crap out of me. That they talked about such personal things, the embarrassing things with my teenage daughter, what kind of car I drive, my license plates, where I live, everything you could find. Like things I know about me that I didn't even know. And that was simple. It says we can do whatever we want, and we can mess with your kids. So somebody in that position is either going to curl up in a ball and die and go away, or they're going to fight. And apparently, maybe they think I'm like them. Maybe they think I'm weak. Maybe think I'm a coward and I'll run away. But no, when someone attacks my kids, even in a political attack, I'm honor bound to protect my family. And all it did was just upset me a little bit. So we're going to fight back. So if you want to join me, help me on this journey, on whatever it is, markverirvine.com. Check my website out. Any donations helps because we've got to get some signs going, and we'll get the campaign on the road, and we'll just do good things. So anyway, you guys take care. I'm going to go and end it.